Hey guys, and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to talk about 5 hacks that I think you guys should know if you're a beginner, and I really wish I knew when I was a beginner. Okay, let's dive right into them. So the first thing I thought beginners should know, when they're going into the gym obviously, and I wish I knew, is it's actually 2 things that kind of tie together. So first of all, less is more, which means you have to have rest days. And they're really important because otherwise the muscle can't repair itself. That's why it's more important than just like going to the gym for 4 hours every single day. Like, you have to have rest days. Like, I train 3 times a week, and you might think, what? That doesn't make sense. How is that possible? It is possible if you have rest days. And here's the second thing that kind of ties together is the gym isn't the only important part. It's more important what you're eating and how much you're sleeping, and if you're sleeping enough. So I like to say, some people will say 25-75. I like to say 80-20. Okay, so the gym, the training itself is 20%. Yes, it is very important, but it's 20%, and 80% of how you'll see the gains and how much and how good, and if you'll keep seeing them, is what you're eating and if you're sleeping enough. Okay, so if you're not sleeping enough and you're not eating right, there aren't going to be good and a lot of gains, and it's going to take forever. And sometimes it will just stop. And that might be the problem why you're stuck. The second thing is that I think that people should do when they're a beginner in the gym is prioritize free weights. I know it's going to sound like, oh, that's from the past. Why are you only prioritizing free weights? Okay, first of all, even though the movements might be harder because the machine is more isolated, so you can't make any mistakes. But if you don't build that foundation, then then it will be hard to move on from that. And also the free weights you always want to somehow be doing free weights, and free weights might be a little more complicated than the machines at first, but it's better and it doesn't like change from each gym. And also it's like you see the most gains when you're starting from free weights because you're using your whole body at the same time. Yes, you're not using it a ton, but it's not like you're like stuck in a chair doing a specific exercises. I use machines now, but I'm saying like for the first month to 3 months, you shouldn't use a machine. Even though most trainers will be like, no, like you should use a machine, it's easier, but you want to build the foundation of knowing how to do these exercises without the machine and without the thing holding you down. Okay, another thing, which is the third thing that we're going to get to, that I want to talk about that beginners shouldn't be doing, is you shouldn't be targeting a specific muscle or a specific part of that little muscle because I want that muscle to be bigger. Okay? As a beginner, you don't want to do that because it's harder to see gains. And so first of all, what you want to do is you want to work on the whole body, okay? Not like a specific little part. Like, even me, usually I don't target a specific little part, like, because you're not doing that unless you're like dialing down for a show or something like that. You don't want to focus completely on because you want to focus on the whole thing because it's harder to target, and it's just like, why would you do that? It's more complicated, and there's no reason to do it. You'll see a lot more growth if you're targeting all the muscles together, or bigger muscles and bigger parts of the muscle, and you're targeting everything. So that's why I say, like, you shouldn't target a specific little like. Someone will be like, oh, how do I target this part of the abs or the rear delt? Like, come on. Like, the rear delt, you're working on the rear delt and the rest of your muscles in the other exercises. Like, if you're doing, like, lat pull-downs or you're doing pull-ups, you're also working on the rear delt. So why would you also want to do something like that? It's taking more time that you could be doing something else, or you could be working on more stuff. Like if you're doing an exercise for a bunch of muscles, instead of targeting them each individually, it's just going to take so much more time. And you don't want to do that as a beginner because you don't have that time to concentrate and do it. Guys, before we get back to the video, I just want to say something quickly. So, if you've enjoyed the video, please at the end smash that like button. It helps the channel, which helps the algorithm, which helps me. And please smash that subscribe button because there's more great videos coming, and that would be amazing. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. Okay, let's get back to the video. Okay, the fourth thing that we're going to talk about that I think beginners should think about and take into consideration when they're starting off in the gym, and I wish I understood this. So first of all, you need to have consistency, and it takes time to see gains. Like, you can't expect right away to start seeing gains. You will see a little bit, but like, don't focus on that. All good things take time, and everything that you get quickly, you lose quickly. So if it takes time to build, it means you'll have it for a long time. So you want to focus long term, and you want to continue the day by day and keep going, and eventually you'll see gains. Don't get like discouraged if you don't see right away. Like, it takes time. Believe me, I'm speaking from experience here. It takes time to see gains, and believe me, it's worth it in the end. But you gotta stay consistent. You gotta do it even when you don't want to, or when you feel like doing something else. You really gotta do it. And I'm not saying you can't do anything else, but I'm saying that you always need to make time and find time. Otherwise, you're not gonna see gains. Okay, the fifth and the last hack and thing that I wish I knew when I was starting off in the gym, and I think you beginners should know when you're starting off in the gym. Okay, it's gonna be like two things that kind of connect. First of all, when you're training, you always want to focus form or over volume, okay? Which means you need to have perfect form before you can raise the weight, and you don't want to be showing off and doing a ton of weight. You want to be doing amazing, great form, and that's how you see the most gains, and you won't get hurt, okay? But also, you want to feel the muscle when you're working on it, okay? I'm not saying you need to get a pump every single time, okay? The pump will come when you want it, but it's not showing that the muscle's going. It just shows that there's a lot of blood going through the muscle. It doesn't show that it's necessarily working a lot more, or it's going to grow more, or something like that. So you need to focus on good form and not try to ego lift and have a lot of weight. And you also want to make sure you feel it, not necessarily a huge pump, but you want to feel the muscle when you're doing it, because otherwise you got to make sure that you're doing it right. If you don't feel it, then there's something wrong. Okay guys, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys watched until now, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And don't forget, smash that like button. It helps the algorithm, which helps the channel, which helps me. And don't forget, smash that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. And be part of the process. And don't forget, keep grinding.